Hi again, this is Rita Ubebo Ni Enajipo in The Widow's Mind. Today's episode or session is going to be called Life's Turning Point. So like I said, I'm doing a lot out of my book. So I'll try to take it as much as I can from my book. So I've never been the type at my young age who was very competitive or who cared about who got first position in class. I've always been that average, just go through life. But you see, my journey, I'm looking at from childhood onto spinsterhood, university, getting professional, my career, then turning into a newlywed with then parenting, and of course suddenly life happens. That's the turning point. So sometimes in life we go through life easy and nice. People help us from time to time, help to shape you or direct you to where you're going to or where you ought to be. But other times you have to, something just suddenly happens that makes you to become more organized or just destroyed you. For instance, if you're a very organized person before, you suddenly become laid back. But suddenly something else happens that shifts you into rearranging your life, repackaging yourself. So for me, that's life's turning point. And for most people, it's going to be something bad that happens. Something happens that will make you now suddenly realize, oh, I need to restart. So this channel, like I mentioned, is a safe place. We're going to be interacting with other people who have been in my own kind of shoes. Like I mentioned before, if you're just tuning into my channel for the first time, I'm a widow who life happened to about 12 years ago, and I've chosen to share my experiences and my choices that got me and my 3 children this far. So that's what this channel is about, helping people to restart. Now you don't have to be a widow. You don't have to be a widower. You could just have lost a job. You may have lost your house through some natural disaster, or left your country without proper plans and you're stuck somewhere. Yes, this is where I will share some experiences. And so, like I said, you're welcome again, and I'm excited to share my personal experiences in the journey that I've walked for like 12 years. Thank you. Yeah, so today I'll be talking about how it started. We've been married for 16 years and 1 month and 3 days. I got married on September 20, 1997, I believe. So he passed on the October 20, 2012. So that puts it in that 16 years about. Now, it wasn't like sudden, but it was sudden. Everything was okay. He had lost a job. He was working, and the company right-sized, and a lot of people lost their jobs. And then he's home. We've been managing him for about 3 years, looking for one work to another. Got one job, contract, and then it was suddenly terminated. My husband battled, do I call it high blood pressure? Yeah. But we were both Christians when we got married. We met as Christians, young Christians in fellowship with the Redeemed Evangelical Mission back in the days 12. One thing led to another. Suddenly, he took ill. Now, the illness, my husband has never had any injection in his life. He had never been hospitalized in his life, at least from what he told me. But suddenly, he traveled to take possession of a shop which my elder sister had handed over to him. She did the handover back in Warri. We were based in Lagos. And then he returned back. He wasn't himself. Now, this is coming back maybe like a Friday. No, like a Wednesday. We immediately went to the hospital, checking him, where I was working in Festac, And at some point, it wasn't looking okay. So my mom was the one that saved the day that one. So she had gone to help me pick our children from boarding house. I had 2 in boarding house. One was still about 8 years old, so she was at home with me. And when she returned, he was at the little hospital in Festac, which is close to, where his family house is and where my office. And suddenly, my mom looked and told the doctor, look, you see his foot is swollen. Why don't you refer him to a bigger clinic? So Mikio was highly recommended. And we went on that referral. The doctor was kind, he gave us referral. And that was the journey. This journey started when Mikio on Thursday morning. And then from Thursday morning, they said he had eaten, so we should come back on Friday. And Friday, that Thursday night, we couldn't sleep. He was swelling and he was restless. So I quickly rushed him to a hospital I've been seeing near my house. I couldn't handle. So at about midnight, we went to that clinic, and there they told us, oh, they need to get dialysis, but they don't have the machine, so they referred us. So we started that referral journey on a Saturday. Moved to in that hospital all through Friday night. That's like 1 a.m. till Saturday afternoon. And then we went to like 3 hospitals. Eventually we got to Lut for like 9 p.m. on Saturday. You know the way it is. God help us. We got before he got a bed in Lut, just at the emergency ward, they were delaying. He's been sitting outside in the open trying to get a bed, and suddenly he got inside the ward, and he had this. I saw my husband just stretching out in my face, and his eyes had turned, rolled. He was off, and I started speaking in tongues. That's all I could remember. But I remember calling my parents, calling my pastor, his pastor at that time, and the doctor suddenly started jabbing him, giving him injections all over his body, and I just left the scene because I was very scared, and I was praying outside, speaking in tongues, while someone came to me and said, oh, madam, keep saying that thing you're saying, looks like it's coming back. And that was about 12 minutes. I was calling my pastor, calling my dad, calling my mom, because my mom had just left us. Once they admitted him, took him in, my mom and his elder sister now had to leave. So immediately I started calling them to come back. So they had to come back. This was like 1 a.m. So, but he came back. They said he had what they call, was it rigor or something? And then he came, and when he came around, he was all smiles. He was radiant. So I looked and he said, Rita, what happened? What happened? My thought was, he's better. I just had a feeling something happened. Yeah, fine. So yeah, that was on Saturday. That was now Sunday morning. Then by Sunday afternoon, he went into for the dialysis. He went into dialysis. So everything was ready, and he came out. He was okay. I spoke with the doctor. The doctor said he's okay. That my husband never had alcohol, nor smoked. And by the way, he was a virgin when I met him. Yeah, so he was those good people, like an angel living among humans. That was how Bennett was. So the hospital was okay. The doctor said he'll be fine, that they would like to do another dialysis on a Tuesday morning, then the following Tuesday. So this is Sunday afternoon, Tuesday. And we said, okay. And we started in Nigeria back in the days with the Lutz, and that was Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. You have to buy everything. So I had to call his younger brothers, to go and, buy this here. Me, I was buying this here. I called his friend, my mom and his elder sister. We were all at the hospital. And he was okay. My pastor and the team came. We were like 16 of us leaving the dialysis center that evening, Sunday evening. Everybody was happy. He's okay. We went back to the room. Then he started telling me, look, Rita, I need you to sit with me and just praise God with me. You're going around too much. You're asking doctors everything. Now, when he was in dialysis center, when he was in the dialysis center, when he came out, my brother went to see him, my younger brother and his wife, and he told them that, look, Rita, Napoleon, I need you to be there for my family, this family that I love so much, that I've not been able to really give them the life that I want for them. Napoleon, please be there for my family. So my brother came, to tell me. I was like, oh. He told mommy the same thing on Saturday afternoon, telling mommy that mommy should be with me, that Rita is troublesome, that she shouldn't leave my side. And I said, don't mind him, that I don't know what he's talking. Yeah, that was it. Then on Monday, I said, since I've been in the hospital since on Saturday night, on Saturday, yeah, let me go home on Monday to go and change. And then my children just came in from their midterm from boarding house. So I went home. My son told me, Mommy, Daddy's not coming back. I was like, what? He's coming back? He said, no, I saw it yesterday night when he slept there in our bedroom. I was like, no, your dad's going to come back. So he said, no. So I said, well, I prayed with him. My son was 13. I prayed with him. I left them again, went to pick one of them from school that afternoon, then dropped her home, then went to look for fuel before going to Loot. Got to Loot on time on Monday. Everything looked okay. They had moved him to a ward, so we were in the ward. And that Monday night, everything turned. Monday night, my sister was calling me from from Port Harcourt. She even had to consult with some of their Shell, medical practitioners to consult with the doctor. So by 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning, I didn't leave I was first of all sleeping in the car with his younger brother. With my sister said, what are you doing there? I better go and meet Bennett. I don't like the way I'm feeling. That go and stay with him. So we left the car and walked back to the hospital, and I snuck into the room. So she told me that she has talked to a doctor who said another doctor. I snuck into his ward. I was with him. He had pulled all those things they put on him, the pillow. He said he wants to go home. I said, Bennett, we'll go home tomorrow after the dialysis. He said, what do you mean dialysis? Is that what you want? He's not working. I'm spending a lot. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't know what happened. So we tried everything. By 11:45 on Tuesday morning, the 23rd day of October 2012, my husband gave up the ghost. And while he was there, they asked me to leave. I'd seen him. He said, oh, Rita, I cannot see you, but I can hear your voice. And I remembered in the saying that they said that the ear is the last organ to die when there's breaking down of all the organs. And I was like, what's that? So I went out, I came back, his eyes were now open now, and they were asking him who can he identify in the room he was. So I felt confident a little, and I went back. This time I was just praying. My dad, everybody in my house in Lagos had come to the hospital. His family were already on ground. My pastor had come, his friend had come. I called everybody. And I was sitting outside when I suddenly got tired, and I sat on a chair, on a broken stool, on the security guard stool, and there the doctor, I saw daylight. I saw his footprint on a gravestone, and it was white. So I woke up. I said, oh my God, what's happening? So I ran. So while I got up, I saw a doctor that came, said, oh madam, I'm so sorry. I was like, sorry for what? The young student doctor. He said, oh, they didn't tell you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So he left. So immediately I went to the ward, and they had closed the place. My pastor and his friend, my younger brother, they helped me. He came to me and was holding me. You have to be strong. So that was life's turning point. So guess what? That was how my journey began. I'm going to leave us here for now. And I would like to say at this point that the whole idea of this channel is to tell us that life can still change at any time for us, but we must be strong, and we must have that. There's something that people believe in. Everyone has a belief in something that you go to draw strength from, a source that you go to draw strength from. For me, that thing is God Almighty. And I tell you that journey, this journey that I've been in for 12 years over, has just been God's journey. So I call it my personal walk with God. So that was how we lost our loved one, and life turned. That was our own life's turning point. I used to be that woman who all I did was cook, do my wifely duties to my husband, take care of my kids, food, go out. My husband was responsible for most of the things that we had in my house, like doing chores. I will cook, clean, wash, but those washing, operating the washing machine and all those other chores that people do, or sweep, I didn't do that. My husband was all to switch generator, to change. I didn't know jack. But in that 3-4 days that he was in, it was about over 2 weeks, I think a week plus in worry. He called me, said, you have to go and learn to do this. He put me through on phone how to pump water, how to change, the generators, from when light comes, power comes, and then you have to switch over. I was like, why can't you wait to come and teach me here? He said, no, you need to learn it. And when he came back from that trip, he went straight to the hospital. So there's something that he had seen that I didn't see. But the truth is, it happened. It really happened. And that was the turning point. We've been married at that time for about 16 years. Like I said, 16 years, 2 months and 3 days. And it's a place that nobody wants to be. You don't want to wish even your worst enemy to be in that place, where you drove somebody to a place and you didn't return with him. I remember that day I had to, when we got to the gate, after they declared him dead, written of the death certificate and cause of death and everything, I got to the gate and my sister called me. She said what she had been told. She said, Rita, have you seen him since he passed? I said, no. She said, you better go and see him. And just remember, so you see him. So I jumped out of the moving car and I ran. I don't know if you know about Lut. The gate is far from the men's ward. I ran all the way from the gate. We were already coming out of the gate, so it was on the road, Idiaraba, and ran back to I got there, they had covered him. And they tried to stop me, but I didn't want anyone to stop. I just went there and I touched him, kissed his head. He was already covered. I say thank you for the years we spent together, for those wonderful children. I pray that this journey treats us well, go well. And I left. And so we had to leave. So with people, I'm hoping that comments might come in the comment section. You're able to ask any questions. But I'm also excited to say that I would like this to be an interactive session or channel. I will also invite some other people who may have gone through similar situations so they can tell their story, so we can pick 1 or 2 things and know how to move, how to channel or restart our lives, to jumpstart it and get back on track, because we have people who depend on it. If you lost a spouse and you didn't have a child, it's a totally different ballgame. When you have children, it's a lot of journey. It's a lot to deal with, trust me. But God Almighty was the one that I went to for help. So I'll see you in my next channel, and hopefully we'll have more to talk about. And yeah, thank you so much, and God bless.